Hello, people. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. My video for today is Men of the Bible series, and the case study is Joseph. And it goes like this: Joseph was 11th of 12 sons of a wealthy nomad named Jacob and his second wife Rachel. His story is told in the book of Genesis, chapter 37 to 50. So, Joseph was the son of Jacob, and Rachel was his mother. And Rachel is the daughter of Laban, and Jacob had to work for 14 years so that he could get Rachel. And so after that, I think it was during that time when Rachel was then frustrated that she could not bear Jacob sons, and Leah bore him 5 sons. That is, and Joseph was loved by Jacob because he had been born to him in his old age, and Joseph was given a special gift by his father, that is a richly ornamented coat. And this favoritism was not well received by his father, by his brother, in that Joseph's brothers saw that he was given the multicolored coat, and this one annoyed his brothers because they saw that Jacob loved Joseph more than their brothers, and they didn't receive much love from their dad as compared to Joseph. So Joseph was very special to Jacob, and also Joseph's brothers were also suspicious of the strange and vivid dreams he had, and did not like the interpretations he told them. So Joseph's brothers were not happy with the dreams that Joseph had, because the dreams were showing that he was better than the brothers. And so the dreams is that one of them was Joseph's sheaves were circled and were bowing down to the brothers' sheaves were bowing down to Joseph's sheaves. And the other one was that Joseph was the star, and the stars, the sun, moon, and the other stars would bow down to his star. And Jacob knew that Joseph was gifted in interpreting dreams, and his brothers eventually took revenge by selling Joseph as a slave to passing merchants. While Joseph was taken to Egypt, his brothers faked his death by rubbing goat's blood into the multicolored coat. His brothers hatched a scheme to get rid of Joseph. One of the ways of getting rid of Joseph was to throw him into a well with no water, and that was Reuben's idea. And after that, the brothers saw the merchants passing by, and they got him out of the well, and they decided to sell him to Egypt as a slave. And Joseph was sold as a slave, and The brothers, the reason why they faked his death is because they were afraid that if they told Jacob that they sold him into a slave, they would be angry. The father would be angry. So what they did, they decided to dip the multicolored coat into by dipping the blood of the goat into the multicolored coat, and after that they told their father that Joseph was attacked by wild animals, and Jacob was so sad, and he was mourning over the death of his son Joseph, because Joseph was loved by Jacob so much. And in Egypt, Joseph became a house servant to a rich, high-ranking Egyptian Potiphar, and in the household he was noticed by Potiphar's wife, who tried to seduce him, but he resisted her and was put in prison. And while in prison, Joseph used his power to interpret dreams of prison officers, and when Pharaoh had two disturbing dreams, Joseph was called to interpret them. So Joseph was favored so much by Potiphar because Joseph was responsible, and Potiphar ensured that the household was taken care of very well, was very well taken care of, and Potiphar's wife saw that Joseph was well built, was very handsome, and she saw that Joseph had a good body, and she thought to herself, and she said, maybe I will try and seduce him, try to make him lie with me. That was what she thought, and she tried that, but Joseph said, no, I cannot do that. And she tried that many times, but he resisted her offer. And when after resisting her offer, he left his coat with her, and he ran off. And his wife told Potiphar's wife told the husband that Joseph raped her and attacked her, and this made Potiphar to be angry, and Joseph was thrown into prison. And although Joseph was thrown into prison, God was with Joseph, and God made Joseph very successful even in prison. So it doesn't matter. Do not compromise your faith. If just be faithful to God, just try your best to do good. Do not give in to the lusts of the flesh. If you are tempted to commit sexual sin, just run away, just as Joseph did. Do not give in to sexual favors. Even if your boss tells you to sleep with him or her, do not do it. It is better you lose that job than to compromise your faith. So Joseph interpreted the dreams of the prison officers, that is the cupbearer and the baker. Joseph told the cupbearer that in 3 days he will be restored back to his position, while for the baker he told him that in 3 days he will be executed. And the baker was executed, while the chief bearer was restored to his position. And Joseph was able to interpret the dreams of Pharaoh, in that Pharaoh's dreams was that there were 7 fat cows and 7 thin cows. There were 7 fat maize and 7 thin maize. The 7 fat cows ate the 7 thin cows ate the 7 fat cows, while the 7 fat maize were devoured by 7 green thin maize, showing that according to Joseph's interpretation, there was to be 7 years of plenty in Egypt and 7 years of famine. So there was 7 years of plenty taking place in Egypt. Then after that, there would be 7 years of famine. So Joseph advised Pharaoh to prepare for the famine, and he gained favor of Pharaoh, who promoted him to prime minister. And during the famine, Joseph had to make key decisions. His acquisition of grain provisions enabled Egypt to withstand and survive the famine. So God has a plan for every country, and you have to listen to the advice from prophets, godly prophets, or even pastors when they receive God's message about a certain country. So the Bible tells us that Pharaoh allowed Joseph to bring Jacob and his family to Egypt, where he took care of them. During that time of the famine, there was great famine in Canaan, and Jacob and his brothers had to go to Egypt to buy food so that they can have plenty of food to survive for the famine. And if you've learned something from the men of the Bible series, that is Joseph, comment down below, and have a good day.